Good morning, welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones, and this particular show, it's Monday. You know, we are going to be talking about the political happenings of the week. And to join me in doing that is Pan-African Forum Chairman, Dr. David Matsanga. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you very much for welcoming me this morning. This is a great show for me, a great thing for me, for Africa. And I'm very happy to join you this morning, Monday morning, 10th May, the year of our Lord, 2021.
Right, I see you're coming from a mobile van.
Yes.
With a press jacket.
It's a mobile, this mobile van, I have about 7 of these mobile vans in London, in Uganda, in Rwanda.
Yeah, what's going on where are you now?
In London, yes. But this is specifically for, I can go anywhere to 10 Downing Street and put my van and do my show. Anytime, every equipment is here. I can go anywhere, the Queen's Palace. I can go every place and do, as you know, I am an international journalist with International Journalists Association. I'm a member of the Commonwealth Association, one of the editors of the Commonwealth Association, Journalists Association in London, the London chapter, and actually I'm one of the most veteran, one of the toughest investigative journalists there, a member of Chatham House, a member of ICII, International Institute of Strategic Studies in London, a member of several organizations. Therefore, I use at times when you are not at home, this is what we use as news. And I'm transmitting directly to you in Nairobi.
Right, Dr. So just to start us off, in terms of the political happenings of the week, it's been a big week politically. The BBI sailed through in the National Assembly, is going to the Senate before it heads to the people. It looked 2 weeks ago that with the BBI, that there was a difficulty in getting it out there. It looked like it was dead in the water. What happened, Dr. that changed things so dramatically?
I told you in the last 2 shows, I told you BBI will pass. I told you there is no way to stop BBI. I told you the MPs will pass the bill. Because this is let's get it very clear. This is an omnibus bill where you can pass and implement. During implementation is where you query quite a lot of things that were not very right. Orengo was in that parliament when the 2010 constitution was passed. He's one of those people who begged that let's pass this bill, then come back to amend this part, this constitution. Constitutional lawyers in Kenya, like Orengo and Otiende and others who have doubts. A constitution is the people's document. They have a right to say we don't want it. There are stages for refusing it. You can't stick on one stage only. What was Orengo and Otiende wanting to amend, which cannot be amended later on, before implementation? Was there anything wrong? I told you it will pass, and it passed heavily. And this is a warning shot for those who mess up with that parliament. It can mess up with you. And you know where I'm telling you so. Why I'm saying
and I'm coming there. And I'm coming there. We saw Senator Orengo talk about his conscience being a very important factor for him. And it seemed as if for some, in fact, if you look at the newspapers of Sunday, they talk about Raila Odinga and the president as having bulldozed their members to get this thing, through. To some degree, it looks like, the issue of democracy was not considered under people's opinions. What would you say to that in terms of just making sure that it went through with no with no opposition to it. And, you know, have we stifled voices in the process of getting the BBI through?
First of all, I just want to tell you that there is nothing that you can do to stop what has gone through. Orengo's cry is useless at this hour. Orengo was one of those people when Raila had finished shaking hands with His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. He met Raila. Orengo has been in the background on the legal team of ODM. He has been seeing these documents. He knows that a parliament, the people can say we want 70 constituencies. I don't know whether you are hearing me.
I'm hearing you very well.
The people can say we want 72 constituencies. But it is not the parliament to cut those constituencies. It is the electoral commission to do so. So let's pass the bill. You pass the bill first.
We pass the bill first, then what?
Which directs the chairman do. You pass the bill first, then you do the constituencies. You talk about the constituencies later. There was no need of haggling over this. It was not necessary.
Yeah, let me ask
you hear me?
When you say let's pass the bill first, it sounds as if it's reminiscent of what happened in 2010 when we said let's pass the constitution as it is first, and then we see whether we can make some changes to it. Still, there's a big, huge outcry on especially the number of constituencies we are going to add to the existing number for representation of the people. Don't you feel like we are, really saddling the horse with too much on its back in terms of, I mean, look at, you're a Pan-African, expert. You've been around the world, you're even in the UK, you can see the way they do their systems there, and even other places. Don't you feel that Africans, and in Kenya for this instance, that we are too overrepresented with this particular section of the BBI?
The democracy of the United Kingdom has taken 1,800 years. When they began, they had lots of representation of constituencies. Even one clan wanted to be represented alone, started the history of Britain. It went on reducing until today. Some areas are represented by a number of houses. So there is nothing wrong with proper representation because we can't compare ourselves to America. America has got the means. You can fly one territory by plane and deliver something and come back. But how can you fly a huge constituency? Like you need to have representation. And unless you are telling me you are going to be represented by animals, you need representation by human beings. And the constituencies are important in representation.
It's true, but the thing is, when it goes to Mwananchi is feeling, look, already we have 349 MPs for 47 million Kenyans. I mean, if you look at countries like the US, 50 states, 100 senators, and each state is just about the size of this country. And here we are about to have 94 senators. We are about to have, almost 600 MPs and counting. As it is, some of them cannot even contribute in parliament because of the sheer numbers. It's impossible even for any speaker of any parliament to actually name all these MPs today. So are we reaching a place where we have just thrown in the issue of representation, maybe at the expense of politics because we just want to appease people politically with the BBI?
First of all, let me tell you that it is not very important for a human being to look at what is going to be the cost. Let's look at what will that particular item serve you. we are looking at devolution. We have brought devolution now to the ward. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with devolution going to the ward instead of the ward chairman, the ward representative looking at the governor to give him money handouts? He has his money, which is there. Is that bad? Instead of having more, even the IEBC can look at and recommend to the parliament for further extension. That if the IEBC finds out, it can even recommend for 100 constituencies. What is wrong with that? But let's pass the bill first. Let there be mandate for the IEBC to do the job. IEBC wake up and say, we are doing it. Where will you get the money? It is the parliament that approves the money. If the parliament has not approved the constituencies, how will you get the money? You answer me. How? So they must tell you, we need 72 constituencies. Now you go and work on how these constituencies will look like. And that is the point. That's why the MPs looked at it. They said the constituency issue cannot bog us down. Let's go ahead. Let's be under Article 257 of the Kenyan Constitution, which is very clear. Anybody who has gone to school like me, in a better school in London, I want to tell you the truth. I don't want to brag. I went to one of those schools. I'm not like a David Indeed, who went to Oxford but doesn't use his Oxford tactics. I used the tactics that I went to Kobe University in the United Kingdom. I want to thank Her Majesty for having educated me to this level. So I want to tell you, anyone who wants a country to develop, wait until the bill comes back after it has been signed. Then you start implementing it by discussing the obnoxious issues that you did not like in the bill.
Okay, let's talk about something else that happened at Parliament. That surprised some people.
Lev, wait.
Yes.
That is how constitutionalism is. You don't just jump and stop a bill. Then what is the use of you being in the parliament by stopping a bill? You should now wait for the bill to come and disagree and amend and change. You have the powers to amend and change. Not before at section 10 and 11. Section 10 to the president. Yours is not to touch it. Why do you make a law and break it, then touch it? Why do you touch it?
I hear you.
257 says no.
Let me ask you, Daktari, something else that happened that was quite interesting was the fact that there were members of the so-called Hustler Brigade, the Tanga team, that did not vote no. We're talking about people like Kimani Ngunjiri. We are talking about people like Faisal from Msambweni. We're talking about the Wajir West MP as well. A couple of MPs, another one even from Bomachoge, who are known to be allies of the Deputy President and were expected to vote, I
want to hear you.
No, but ended up voting yes. What were your thoughts about that?
I want to hear you. The people who voted no, who are in Ruto's camp, I have told His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, to keep his money for his children. I have been in politics for almost 45 years. I am now 65 years old. And I've been playing politics for 40 years. I've seen 10 governments in Uganda overthrown, including the current one coming to power. I know what politics is. There are very few honest people in politics. And the politics is timing. William Samoei Ruto, my advice is keep your money. because you are going to be shocked. You will be shocked unless you have a gold mine where you dig this money and you have no pain. But if I were you, I would keep my money and work with other people, work with the president. Let's change the country without dishing out money, who have shown you that they can eat your money and disappear, and you will have nothing to say. Look at Nkunjiri Chimani. He told you the reason, and that's how they are going to vote. I hope are you hearing me, sir?
Very well.
That is how they are going to vote. Ruto, Jupiter President Ruto, wherever you are, I am just telling you as a friend, Bwana, that is how they will vote. And you will have a shocker, a big shocker. The voting pattern of Kenya relies on the sentiments. Have you heard the sentiments of Kunjiri?
Yes.
Kimani Ngunjiri, what did he tell you? That if I vote no, what will I go back to tell the mountain people? That I denied you constituencies and money.
That's a good question right there.
No, he refused. Why doesn't Ruto have a brain to watch? Let him give, sorry, but they have no sincerity. It's not there. If you look at the vote on Saturday, on Friday, on Thursday.
Yeah. Maybe as the Daktari, we seem to not be having a very good connection. I don't know what's happening. Hello, Daktari. I think let's just take a quick break on that note and then come back and revamp this particular connection and continue with Dr. David Matsanga, Pan-African Forum Chairman, who we are discussing with on these pertinent issues, the political happenings of the week. Don't go away. We'll be right back in just a moment. And welcome back to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. We are discussing the political happenings of the week, and we with Pan-African Forum Chairman Dr. David Matsanga, who is joining us from the United Kingdom, all the way in London, England. Must be a very, very chilly morning out there. Daktari?
Yes.
Yes, I am trying to hear you a bit better.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
We are back. So now, Dr. Picking up from where we left, let's just get right into it. We talked about, you know, those the expectations of the masses in terms of what, because one of the MPs said that all politics is local, that the local people will hold him to account and say, hey, you did not give us, you didn't vote for the constituencies we would have wanted, and you didn't give us more representation. When we talk about in terms of...
Speak louder.
Yes, I'm saying that,
I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Daktari?
Yes.
Right. I'm saying let's pick it up from where we left it at. Where we left it at the point when we were talking about how some of the gentlemen from the wing allied to what they call Tanga went, sort of voted, and then they voted yes for the bill, but then said, that wing did not expressly say that they did not want the BBI. Do you feel like they gave us mixed signals in terms of what they want? Are they anti or pro, or are we here to see that when we go on the field now for, for civil education once the Senate is done with the bill?
It is very clear that these people will, however much you struggle to climb a mountain, when it is slippery, you will not reach the top. So the best thing is to use another way of getting other ways of reaching the mountain, either by playing on the top, or you look at it and keep quiet. The voting pattern, it doesn't matter. There's nobody who is going to keep quiet and say, vote against an amendment that is bringing money down to the ward. that is removing poverty from the ward, the parish in any country. That's impossible. 2, Ruto's group of Tanga. These people want money from Ruto. They know he has it, and he gives it to them. They will eat it until on that day, he will cry tears, because there will be nobody. None of those MPs, I tell you, from North Mount Kenya, will come back today. Will ever see Parliament. You will see, you are here and I'm here. 22 is very near. God willing, we shall come back to this studio. I will tell you, I told you. So if you are thinking of those MPs as your supporters, you are wasting your time. Ruto should embrace unity, diversity, and come back, respect the president, respect the man who is ruling, governing the country, instead of going around besmirching, belittling the president, and doing things that annoy everybody, every friend of the president. We are annoyed. Some of us are not happy with what he does. When these MPs go and insult the president in front of the Jupiter president, who does not reprimand them, and instead he laughs. You have seen him laugh in the meetings when they are talking about the president. You think everybody is happy? No. These guys are eating his money. Hallelujah, he has plenty. At least I've never gone there to ask for one, and I will never go there to ask. But I try to tell him, let him do the service he did, like now he's a real father. You know, for me, I've given out 4 daughters, and I am a real grandpa with 10 grandchildren. I'm happy. So let him go back and think about the family. But thinking about the politics every day, he will have the tears and the tears.
Yeah, Daktari, so
the first day.
So yes. After this thing goes to the Senate and then goes to the people, are we expecting a referendum?
It's good you have talked about the Senate.
You know, right now, there's one big problem that I think we are not talking about.
It's good you are talking about the Senate.
All the plans are being made. The plans are being made for a referendum, but the IEBC is still not completely constituted. We still need some commissioners in there. The IEBC has still not made any changes to its constitution to be able to, in terms of the way it's running its things, to be able to give people the credibility that it will be able to run a free and fair election. It's still the same IEBC that part of the people who are in BBI, Raila Odinga and his people, said that this particular IEBC was not one they could trust to go with to a second election. Why would it be the one to run again a referendum, Dr.
I think the government and the parliament and the executive is trying to fill the. You are aware that there is a recruitment exercise going on now to fill up the posts in the IEBC of the people who departed, who left IEBC. So that is not a problem. But they are still within the time frame of holding a referendum. That is all.
What about confidence of the people in the system?
Well, yes, if people have no confidence, then they will tell Chebukati to go. But if I was a Kenyan, I would not allow Chebukati to touch my vote. Yes, I would not accept for Chebukati to touch my vote, because he will bring more violence in 2022. Thank you.
I've heard you. One more thing. Now let's talk about the visit by the Tanzanian president, Samia Suluhu, over the week. She came to Kenya. It was a very high-profile visit. It had a lot of goodies that came with it. But one thing that happened during that time, let's start from the point of our own reception of the president of Tanzania. The deputy president was missing in State House, at Parliament, on all the functions that she attended, she managed to meet the speakers of the House, met the president, of course, met most of the top people in the government. And it seems to some people, they would say that a country like ours, Kenya, would have tried to hide our dirty linen, so to speak, behind closed doors. And maybe these two guys should have just met her. Alafu wakati mgeni ameenda, you can now go revert back to your ways. What do you think? Did we show ourselves badly as a country?
Have you ever heard of a phrase of ghost workers?
Sorry?
Do you know a ghost worker?
A ghost worker?
Yes.
I've heard of. I do not know one personally.
I hope you are not also a ghost worker.
I'm not a ghost. I'm here. I can be seen on TV.
Yes. Then if you are not there, you are not working, why should you be invited? To do what? You don't want to attend these meetings. You don't want to attend what the president, you don't want to listen to the president directive. Who is your boss? The Constitution says you will be directed to do the things the president will tell you.
But you don't want to do it. They were not invited, Daktari.
No, those are lies. The letters show invitation. This guy is paranoid. Anyway, it is up to him. But if you're a ghost worker, why should you be invited?
But do you think as a country,
why should a ghost worker be invited?
Showing the whole world how things are not.
There's nobody showing.
Are not good up there.
In fact, it gave the president more free time. Uhuru Kenyatta was freer. It's freer now to do his things very nicely, without encumbrances of this nature. You want me to tell you that if you invite a ghost to work, to sit at a table, it could eat more food than even you human being, because you don't know where the food is going. So they cannot invite a ghost worker. The deputy president has abandoned his duties. He's not working. He's not consulting the president. What do you want the president to do? What?
Okay.
To go and carry him. So we might have shown, Kenya might have shown a bad example. Yes, I agree. In normal terms, when you call and visitors around, you should have called someone.
Yeah, you set your things in order. You don't show that things are bad in this house. Mama and dad are not talking.
They are not. Yes, is he mama or is Baba? There is only one Baba.
It's an example, Daktari. It's an example. But they are.
Why? My friend, there is only one Baba, the only commander-in-chief of the Kenyan Armed Forces.
But he has a deputy. You see, he has a deputy constitutionally.
Listen.
When this judge started in 2012, Daktari, when this judge started in 2012, people said, and even called them Uhuruto. People said, that, they were divine, that, God-given. Everyone had gotten behind them. Now, the same people, a lot of them, are okay with one of them just being, some people feel shortchanged.
Yes, because one has a good
people of Kenya, a package, and then somewhere along the line, you decided that the package was not working. Is that fair?
Okay.
Because some people voted for Uhuru Kenyatta because of Ruto. Some people voted for Uhuru Kenyatta because of himself. You understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that? That there are those who feel like that their votes were shortchanged. For example, if you are my friend and I know you and you get into partnership with somebody else tomorrow, and I say I'm voting because I know Dr. Matsanga. I may not know the other guy very well, but I know Dr. Matsanga. So tomorrow, if you are sidelined, I then feel as if I'm also sidelined.
Let me tell you, I would say President Uhuru Kenyatta has done his best. He gave his deputy time. The deputy went and did political party rallies, went and opened projects, ate money out of them. Seriously. Corrupt deals, corrupt unfinished tenders, unfinished roads, unfinished projects. There are very many. But if you go down to analyze projects, people have taken money up front. These reports are there in EACC. These reports, the deputy came and said, it is not 21 billion, it is 7. And said on national TV that there is a bank guarantee. So no money was lost. Now, I want to ask you, the Italian man is suing the government of Kenya for having cancelled his contract. Where is the bank guarantee? Where is it? Answer me. You seem to be the spokesman.
I have no
Answer me.
idea.
Then there you are. The president has done nothing wrong. Uhuru Kenyatta has not told Ruto any word. Ruto has shown his own way by going to UDA, welcoming people wearing a party which is not Jubilee Party. Even if it were you, what would you do? They have gone ahead to form the party. They told us, lied to the public. They have numbers. Where will I?
But
These numbers,
you
whoa!
see, the irony is that this is happening at a time when there's a document called Building Bridges going on. Yet the bridges can't be built between the president and his deputy.
But Ruto
Isn't
told
that
you.
the greatest irony?
Ruto told you it is irony, but Ruto himself is the one destroying the BBI. Didn't he tell you that he's the one who selected Mr. Say? Who brought Say on the committee? Isn't it Ruto? You answer,
Okay.
is Say from Tarwa? Is he
Let me
from
move on to
Tarwa?
something else. Let's talk about...
Yeah, you people, the biggest problem is that you don't tell the truth about these things.
Well, I have called you to tell the truth. I'm only asking the questions here. But let me just move and say this, Daktari. Let's talk about the Kenyan and Tanzanian question. Now that the presidents met.
Yes.
And they declared that, trade, especially issues to do with maize, would be revamped along the Tanzanian borders. Kenyan traders who are having a difficult time trading in Tanzania would be able to do so. It sounded like that was really good, but then it was only on paper, because the following day, those of us in the fourth estate were out there at the Namanga border, and things had not changed, Daktari.
They don't change abruptly, they will change. That's the answer I can give you. But I am very happy with the restoration of the good relationship between Tanzania and Kenya. I'm very happy that Tanzania, we shall borrow something from Tanzania. What do we borrow from Tanzania? Let's borrow the unity of purpose, which Uhuru Kenyatta is telling you. If Ruto united on BBI, he would be the biggest beneficiary. He will win the vote. He will win the people's mind in 2022 without a hassle, without spending much of his money. But see what he has done. He has gone a different way because he's Mr. Ego. He knows it all. Have you ever talked to the DP? Before you finish the sentence, you will say, I know. So then you who went to the office, what will you do? You keep quiet. So for me, it is up to you Kenyans. Our role is to make sure that we make noise as international activists, as Pan-African. I am very interested in a stable Kenya and a stable East Africa. A stable East Africa delivers a stable Uganda, Congo, South Sudan, Burundi, Rwanda. A stable Africa, Kenya, gives hope to other African states like Somalia. A stable Kenya becomes the vanguard of Africa in terms of development, political orientation, and security orientation. Thank you.
I hear you. Daktari, just in terms of the way forward now, and matters to do with civic education. A lot of people had said, as we come to a close, that they had not yet read the BBI. What would be your advice to the government before the referendum to make sure in ensuring that its people are, well educated on what they're trying to push out there? What advice would you give?
The truth is this. And I want to say the truth. Some of these things, the books have not reached people. And let these books be given out, whatever they are. Now that once the referendum is set, the dates, let's start. Let people come on TV every time, on all networks, educate people. There are people who are not, if the books have not reached the people, it will be difficult to convince people to vote. Therefore, I share the sentiments of people who say they have not seen these books. Some of them want them. So let's have village by village, each representative, each MCA to have some books for his ward. That is a very good way of civic education. And let the government draw out programs on TV, pay for the programs for people to talk about BBI through the TV, not just adverts. People are not interested in adverts. Let's start chatting some of these sections on national televisions, on local televisions, online TV, like some of our TVs. You have not even congratulated me for the Pan-African conference that I held in Nairobi.
I was going to close by asking you that.
Okay, very fantastic. Over 2,000 youths from 54 countries were on the conference. That is the type of civic education that we want. We want to help the government to sustain that pressure to go away from the government of the youth. Let's engage them. Let's find solutions. Let's find groups. Let's find economic activities that can help the countries and help to stabilize Africa. Indeed, the books must be given to the people of Kenya to read and find out what exactly they are going to vote for.
Yeah, good points. Let me ask you before we close, because we have not spoken about this since the last time we talked. Before we talked 2 weeks ago, the judiciary was looking for a replacement. As we speak right now, there's a nominee, a lady, who's about to be Chief Justice once she has gone through the parliamentary process. Her name is Martha Koome. And what are your thoughts about that as a replacement for Maraga? Because I remember you, when Maraga was there, you spent a lot of time bashing the guy. Do you feel confident that this is a good replacement?
Yes, 100%. I don't have even to show you any shyness. Justice Koome is fit. Maybe if you have a woman this time, she will be able to sentence some thieves. There are too many thieves stealing money and walking free, coming to television. Even you imagine somebody, you know he has been involved in a 10 and a 2. You remember that man of the NHIF, the office messenger, who flies by helicopter and who bought 8 cars. Yes. Imagine you meet someone like that. He's still walking. And he married a judge, you know. Bought a Range Rover, bought 280 cars. And that thief is walking. He took money from NHIF.
Yeah. Even the saloonist.
Which people are...
Even the saloonist is walking.
Is what?
Yes,
they are walking free. Yes, so if we find such people, if we find a judge like a Koome will hammer you the years you deserve. So let her be the Chief Justice. Maybe
so there's hope.
Kenya
You're happy now with the judiciary.
People will change. People will be attacking people's money.
Right. So, Daktari, we out of time. As a parting shot, what would you say to the viewers this morning?
Thank you very much. I want to tell the viewers this morning that there is hope. Now that the BBI has passed, Kenya needs to do a revamp, a redemption strategy, a healing strategy, a reconciliation. I call upon you people to support the president up to the end, to be able to stand and deliver a better united Kenya. A better united Kenya can deliver a better East Africa. A better East Africa can deliver a better Africa. And a better Africa will definitely deliver a better world. Thank you very much. And the next time when I call my conference was very fantastic. It had millions and millions are saying I must call it almost every month for people to be able to voice their anger. Voice their anger. You see, and I believe me or not, I am holding another one. I don't want to advertise it on your TV because it is, but I also take time to do these things for you. On 18th of May, I will hold the legacy trend for Kenya. I want to assess the gains, the objectives, the obstacles of the Big Four agenda.
I hear you.
And it will be a one-day summit. I will call upon KASS FM to cover you, to cover it up, or to talk to me, and we see how you can broadcast it live. That's a business that the chairman can take, and he should not be shy to contribute to his country. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, all of you. Good morning, Africa.
Good morning,
Kenya.
good morning, and
God
have a
bless
wonderful,
you.
wonderful day. Thank you very much. That's Dr. David Matsanga, Pan-African Forum Chairman, and that's the political happenings of the week. See you tomorrow, God willing.